Welcome to Week 1, the big picture. The focus of this module is the grouping and regrouping of students according to their proficiency in the language of instruction in multilingual, linguistically diverse classrooms. It is grounded in both research and many years of practice in classrooms with bilingual learners. What is a multilingual classroom? It is a classroom where the students come from a variety of language backgrounds and proficiencies. They include monolingual English speakers from a variety of dialects, monolingual speakers of other languages just beginning to develop English, students who have well-developing skills in more than one language, and everything in between. Does this sound like your classroom? As you know, linguistically and culturally diverse settings pose particular challenges for academic development. They also provide unique opportunities. 3 big ideas guide this module. The first is that the development of academic bilingualism is a benefit for everyone, and at a minimum should be a goal of instruction for bilingual learners, regardless of what kind of program or school they are in. Very likely you are working in a setting where most or all of the instruction is in English, but you can still promote and foster a positive orientation to bilingualism among your students. The second big idea is that academic bilingualism results from participation in a variety of settings, each of which support different aspects of language and concept development. The third big idea is that teachers need to intentionally plan for these groups of students so that bilingual learners can access both the language and the concepts of the academic curriculum. We need framework for planning to make sure bilingual learners can access the content curriculum and the language needed to demonstrate their knowledge. Planning should take into account all students' proficiency in the language of instruction. The organizational framework presented in this module is not a program model or a schedule. Rather, it is a way of conceptualizing the kinds of groups that are possible in a multilingual environment. It is predicated on the belief that academic bilingualism is both desirable and possible for students to achieve through schooling regardless of program type. Any sound instructional design should plan for the grouping and regrouping again of students. Today's teachers need to become particularly adept in this area. In linguistically diverse schools, teachers will find themselves working with 3 different groups of students: primary language, linguistically heterogeneous, and second language groups, each of which provides necessary opportunities for the students and places particular demand on the skill sets of their teachers. What is the best grouping? In a linguistically diverse school, no one grouping is best. Each offers part of what bilingual learners need in order to become academically proficient. Each is necessary for success, because what can be accomplished in each grouping differs. We can also think of multiple pathways as representing the kinds of groups in multilingual settings. The red road is first language groups. The blue road represents second language groups. The overlapping part in the middle symbolizes heterogeneous or integrated groups, where students from different language backgrounds and proficiencies come together to do the work of school. As a result of taking this module, we hope that as you plan and teach, you will stop and think, who are the students in this particular group? How can I take advantage of the opportunities and overcome the restraints? The understanding that these groupings exist and are distinct from one another should help guide your planning. Throughout this module, we consider 3 questions in depth. The first question is, what are the unique opportunities each setting provides to support students' development of academic proficiency, both conceptually and linguistically? For example, when students work in their primary language with someone fluent in their language, it is easier to go deep into concepts, tap into students' funds of knowledge, and access information through a wide variety of channels. The second question is, what are the limitations or constraints of each setting if academic bilingualism is the goal? This pushes us to consider what students might be missing if they were to spend all of their instructional time in a particular setting. For example, second language groups can offer a safe place for students to practice their second language at their own level of proficiency. However, if students are only in second language groups, they won't have native models or opportunities to interact with native-speaking students. The third question is, what are the most appropriate strategies to use in each setting to best meet the needs of the students represented? This suggests that you can and should try to vary your strategies to get the most out of the unique opportunities each setting provides and avoid the pitfalls. It is important as you look out at your classroom to ask yourself, who's in front of me right now? For example, in most schools, students usually are in heterogeneous groups, native speakers and second language learners working together in English. This is also the most challenging grouping to teach well, given the different needs of the students. This is a schedule from a 5th grade classroom in a multilingual school where all instruction is in English. The schedule is highlighted in different colors to distinguish how and when the 3 groupings occur. The L1 or primary language is indicated in red, L2 or second language in blue, and the integrated group in purple. The percentage of time in each setting is calculated, as represented in the summary chart. You will notice that all of the students spend the vast majority of their day in integrated groups. The native English speakers receive 50 minutes in a primary language group, while the bilingual learners are in second language groups. The native English speakers receive no second language instruction, and the bilingual learners receive no primary language instruction during the day. Here is another schedule for you to examine. Again, notice how much time is spent by native English and Spanish speakers in each of the 3 groups, L1, L2, and integrated groups. These schedules will be available to you as resources in this week's Explore and Make It Work sections. During the Make It Work for this week, you will examine your school or classroom schedule to get a feel for how students experience their day. Some questions you will address include, in which settings do students most often find themselves across their day? Is this the same for all language groups? Do the instructional strategies in different settings match the needs of the students represented? In what ways? Do you or other teachers change your instructional approaches and/or strategies with different groups of students? In the upcoming weeks, you will see examples of how you can create all 3 opportunities in any classroom and adjust your instruction depending on the learners in front of you.